evening, friends. We have Umesh with us. Welcome, Umesh.
Jai Shri Ram, Meena ji.
Yeah, Jai Shri Ram. So today, Umesh, there's lots of news that we'd like to discuss with you. And we'll start with the first piece of news, which is Union Home Minister Amit Shah launched a stinging attack on Rahul Gandhi, charging the Congress leader with betraying his maternal roots in Italy by denigrating Chhat Puja festival. The former BJP president, who addressed four back to back rallies in poll bound Bihar, also claimed the India bloc will be wiped out as people of the state will avenge the insult to Chatti Maya, that came months after Congress workers in the state had allegedly hurled abuses at Prime Minister Modi's mother. So, what are your views on this, Umesh?
The basic thing is, I feel that the Congress leader, Rahul Gandhi, is actually having a disconnect with the Indian culture altogether. He does not understand the constitution as well. And whenever he goes abroad, he makes such statements which are denigrating. It is not actually helping the cause of India at all. He meets the Chinese ambassador at questionable places. He meets all the sort of people who are against India, who are against the civilizational ethos of India. Wherever he goes, he makes a statement which does not resonate with the Indian culture altogether. This I can say that there is a sense of entitlement. There is a sense of belief that the entire India is their property, and they are actually it is like जो बोलते हैं ना कि हिंदी में कि हमारी जागीर है, and this is the mindset he is having. And if you see all his statements, they lack the understanding. And uh, and Amit Shah ji rightly said that he has much more affinity towards his maternal culture rather than having any understanding of the civilizational ethos, like what the festival actually signifies. And if you see the way in the Delhi CM, Rekha Gupta ji, she cleaned the entire Yamuna. She performed the Chhat Puja. She ensured that all the people from Bihar who are residing in Delhi get the view of a very good Yamuna. This is a welcome change I can see. This is like I would definitely compliment the Delhi CM and even the Home Minister and even the Prime Minister to actually see that everyone this time the Chhat Puja is remembered for something distinct. And the Yamuna, the site of Yamuna is surely welcoming.
Yeah. So, could you just give us a few words on what is Chhat Puja?
Chhat Puja is one of the thing of it's celebrated in Bihar. The Chhat Maya is there, and it's a symbolic thing that people will celebrate a lot for their progress and other things. So, what I believe is Rahul Gandhi actually lacks the understanding. He has made remarks that PM would be dancing and something like that, and all the things. It is not as leader of opposition. He needs to maintain the decorum. He is the one of the person who is constitutional person. He should know what he has to speak. But what I feel that he has a sense of entitlement, and he can see that whatever he speaks, the media will highlight it. And one more thing, the way they had abused the prime minister, it is really, I can't even think of that. It is really very sad.
Moving on to Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump, ahead of his meeting with Chinese President Jinping on Thursday, said he has instructed the Department of Defense to immediately resume testing nuclear weapons on an equal basis with other nuclear powers. Because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. The process will begin immediately, he said on Truth Social ahead of the meeting with Jinping in South Korea. Now, Umesh, this seems to be a very dangerous proposition, isn't it? Half the time they are trying to control countries that develop nuclear power, and now they're talking about working in tandem with China to, develop and to experiment with nuclear energy.
Means a lot of things have happened before the meeting. Russia tested its missile, Burevestnik. It is like a nuclear powered. The engine is miniaturized nuclear reactor, and it had traveled across the air for 15 hours and 14,000 kilometers. The trajectory can be guided, it can be moved, and one more thing, it actually flies at low altitude so that it is even in undetectable by radar. Second, Russia tested the Poseidon missiles as well. It's an underground UAV missile. So what that missile does it can create tsunamis. So Donald Trump stated that the United States is having one of the largest stockpile. It is not the largest stockpile. The largest stockpile is with Russia. They are having 5,500 nuclear weapons, and United States is around 5,200. But what he said was, we need to match Russia and China. China is distant third with 600 nuclear weapons. So what he wants to do is he has ordered Department of War to carry out nuclear testing. What sort of nuclear testing will be done? We do not know. That has not been stated. But what we do understand is Russia and China both have leaped forward in hypersonic technology and any other things. US needs to match one. Donald Trump wants to use this as a tool to start further testing. And also, one more thing, the next year, the midterm elections are there, and back home, he is facing a lot of problems. So, this is a diversionary agenda which he has stated. But certainly, the comprehensive test, the nuclear test ban treaty that was signed in 1996, I surely believe that Donald Trump is becoming the North Korea, that is becoming something like the North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un. So what we will see is every other country will be testing nuclear weapons, and since America is not ratified, I think in 2000, so they will use this as an excuse. Since Russia had withdrawn in 2023, we will also do that. So right now, the Cold War II has started. The nuclear arms race has started as well. I do not. I do have a feeling that India might have to test one also to ensure that they also get that thermonuclear bomb, which is unfinished. I think so.
Yeah. So what you said is very true because Russia has successfully tested its nuclear-powered Burevestik cruise missile, a nuclear-capable weapon that Putin says can evade any defense system. He said the country now moves towards deploying the missile. So, as you said, people are, the different countries are, sort of getting ready for this sort of, atmosphere. Now, moving on to in what intelligence officials describe as a troubling sign of deepening defense and intelligence ties between Pakistan and Bangladesh. Islamabad has quietly established a special inter-service intelligence (ISI) cell within its High Commission in Dhaka, according to top intelligence sources. The development comes amid a rapid expansion of military cooperation between the two countries since the fall of Sheikh Hasina's government in 2024, which signals a potential strategic realignment in South Asia that could directly challenge India's security interests. Sources told CNN News that the move formalizes a growing pattern of collaboration between Pakistan's spy agency and Bangladesh's military establishment under Mohammad Yunus regime. What do you take of this?
Few days back, Shamshad Mirza, one of the top generals in Pakistan army, visited Bangladesh and he met Mohammad Yunus. Mohammad Yunus handed him an artifact where it showed our northeast as part of Bangladesh. This is a direct provocation. And also, you're right. Pakistan is actually deepening its cooperation with Bangladesh. On the one hand, where we have disallowed Bangladesh to use our ports and airports, Pakistan is saying that we will provide all strategic help from Karachi. Karachi to Chittagong ferry services have been started. There are reports that arms movement is happening. And even in the border, there is a base, Lal Monirhat base, which is a World War II abandoned base that is being refurbished for future attack launch on India. And also, top military generals of the Pakistani establishment and Bangladeshi spy agency have gone and inspected that airbase. and that airbase is being constructed by and it is being refurbished by Turkey. What we see is a strategic alignment in the northeast between Bangladesh, uh, Pakistan, and even Turkey. Turkey is also giving arms to Bangladesh, and Turkey is a commonality factor between between Pakistan and Turkey, because Turkey has moved its cargo plane between Diego Garcia and Karachi. So there are a lot of reports which are coming that United States might be arming Pakistan, and Pakistan wants to actually diversify its military equipment from China. In Operation Sindhu, the Chinese equipment were hopeless. So I believe that Turkey is acting as a conduit to actually ferry arms uh, between America and Karachi, and also it is arming Bangladesh. One more thing which is happening is Zakir Naik is visiting Bangladesh next month, and he will be there for 20-21 days. Also, there are reports that Muhammad Yunus advisors are actually raising a parallel army, Islamic army, similar something to Khamenei in Iran. They want to replace the Bangladesh army, and they are recruiting. They plan to recruit 160,000 radicals. Already 8,850 recruits are being provided training at 7 locations. What we see, Minaji, I believe, is that Yunus wants to actually see that he remains in power. So he is planning to remove, this is my assumption, Wakaruzaman, the present army chief of Bangladesh. The present army chief of Bangladesh, Wakaruzaman, was scheduled to visit India for a UN peacekeeping mission, and then he was scheduled to fly to Saudi Arabia. He had cancelled both the things. In February, the elections are due, and the coming 3 to 4 months will be very tough. And but the Indian establishment are aware what is happening. They are keeping a keen eye, as you can see. Even near the Sir Creek area, we can see the deployments are high. And Pakistan has stated that next they would be having an economic warfare with India. So the intelligence input says that probably they might repeat the Mumbai attack of something like 2008-9, or they might attack the refineries in Gujarat. And Gujarat is one of the most important state because the Prime Minister Modi ji comes from there. Amit Shah ji hails from Gujarat, and even the Indian the top corporates, which are actually everybody is targeting, the Ambani and Adani, they come from Gujarat. So this is an economic security threat from Pakistan, and also a security threat from Bangladesh to cut off our Siliguri corridor. This is what that is being planned. Minaji, I believe that right now in Northeast, it is a lot of anti-India
That bit.
forces. Yeah, what I believe is in the Northeast, lot of global powers are involved. It is America, whose forces have already landed in Bangladesh. China is there, Turkey is there, Pakistan is there, and they are using Bangladesh as a conduit to launch operations against India, possibly in the future. So we are seeing actually that they want to attack the softest point of India, that is the Siliguri corridor.
Yeah. So it's very clear that Pakistan can't fight on its own, and Bangladesh can't fight on its own. So they're joining forces just to make sure that India is taught a lesson. Now, some other things are happening also in India, Umesh, which we can be rather, proud about. First thing is that there is a path-breaking judgment by Himachal Pradesh that high courts have to protect the funds of Hindu temples. So that has happened, and now in Mumbai, let me just get to that news. Mumbai also bans loudspeakers at religious structures. So this is also happening. So some good points for Hindus because a long time back, Supreme Court had banned the use of loudspeakers all over India. But you know how India is. Wherever it's not a BJP, rule government, these people have these loudspeakers at very large volumes. Now, with these two things happening, How do you see it, Umesh?
I believe that the Supreme Court and all over the justice has been delivered for the largest majority speaking population in India. And as Hindus, we have already always been compliant, and we have accepted all the judgments of the honorable courts of India. Somewhere down the line, I believe that some remarks were made by the present CJI that were not taken well, and I think that the judges are being much more sensitive to our traditions, to our culture, to our civilization ethos. It's a welcome change. I would really like this to continue, and it is only possible only if you are in power. We need to have electoral victory. You are very much right that unless and until we are electorally, if we are defeated, we can see that provisions like communal violence bill, which was enacted during the which was due to be enacted during the MMS government, we will see some bills like that. So what we see is the Supreme Court is finally awakening. They have realized that they need to take the views of the Hindu majority as well.
Yeah. Another piece of news is that Bali, which is a part of Indonesia, it was a Indonesia was a Hindu country which became a Muslim country a few centuries ago due to Mughal invaders. They said that a few years ago we could not resist the invasion and changed our religion. But how can we forget our ancestors? Is it possible for ancestors to change? So even though it is a Muslim country, Ram Leela is held there. Their national airport is also named after Garuda. Their money has pictures of Ganesha printed on it. Now, when Hinduism has been there for such a long time, look at the way the invasion has changed it. So it's very important for India to protect its cultural background, isn't it?
Yes, definitely. And if you see our neighbor, General Asim Munir, earlier in April, before the Pelgam attacks, he wanted to say that they have a distinct civilization ethos. But if you see, Pakistan never actually existed. It was Akhand Bharat. Pakistan is an anomaly which was carved out based on hatred towards the Hindus. So what was happening is people want to erase our civilizational identity in some form or the other. It's a combination of the leftist wokist combination which is wants to erode the civilizational identity of Bharat, of Hindutva, of Sanatan. That's why we see campaigns like Dismantle Global Hindutva coming up repeatedly in the West. So, what is happening is they want to do the cultural genocide and extermination of our culture. They want to whitewash all the things. So, they come up with absurd theories. And right now, what we have to do is we have to fight back. We need to come out with relevant facts and get it incorporated in all the data sets of Western softwares like ChatGPT or Gemini or any other software which we are using. We need to debunk that. So, see, Minaji, ChatGPT and other LLMs will be used in future. What we have to do is, if they give us any answer, we need to say that this is wrong. So, what will happen is we will train we will be giving our inputs to that software, so that what will happen is this is a real problem for us. Whatever earlier was happening, it was countered. But if it all the softwares of the Western world and even the DeepSeek of China, they are anti-India, they are anti-civilization. So India needs to come up with some sort of our own LLM at the earliest. This is
Yeah.
what I can say.
Absolutely. And not only that, this has filtered in onto the different other areas, as in, the film scene, the music scene, and many other areas. For instance, you look at the movie scene, and you look at the platforms like Netflix and other areas. What they are trying to do is, break our social fabric by introducing, things that we have never even thought about in our culture, as in more of gay, themes, lesbian themes, and what they're trying to do is encourage it and make it normal through their movies. So, as a sort of a mother or a wife, I've also noticed that many movies that I see on Netflix has, it goes naturally into a gay theme or a lesbian theme. And the moment I see that, I switch it off, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to filter into our Hindu culture and trying to bring in something that is Western, and they say that it is normal. Whereas in our culture, we have been very, very protective about what all beliefs we have and what we follow. And I'm not saying that I'm against same sex whatever relationship, but what I'm saying is it has never been there in India. This is a product of the Western culture, and other things also. See, about, you're talking about drugs. So it is in most of their movies, they, a family, a very happy family, will take a fag, which is a drug. Okay, so and they say that let's share it. So on holidays also, they take drugs and they share it to normalize it. So what are you doing? You're normalizing drugs, you're normalizing gay relationships, you're normalizing many things which our culture has been against. So what you said is very true. It's filtering through in every area, whether it is Bollywood or whether it is, over the top, like Netflix and, all these areas. Even in music, you have so much of, they're talking about drugs, they're talking about violence, through all these hip hop and whatever songs they have. So what they're trying to do is systematically, they are trying to break the fabric of Hindu culture. And if, as parents, we are not, not noticing it, it's high time we noticed it. Because why Sanatana Dharma has been holding on for so long is because of, parents and people who are conscious of the important values in life, isn't it?
Definitely, I agree with your thought process, and these platforms need to be sensitive about Indian culture as well. But it is very much appalling that our film industry and many other platforms have been taking our the consideration of protecting our dharma. In fact, I would see that Telugu films are actually becoming much more Sanatan than the Bollywood. And with the movies like RRR and Bahubali, I could see the cultural awakening, a renaissance happening down south. So this is a refreshing change. I would also like to put forward this. Regarding Hollywood, I think that needs to be shifted from Mumbai, and it needs to be shifted to Noida Film City. That should actually become the hub for movie filmmaking. Is happening is everything is normalized in Mumbai, and everybody is trying to ape one each other. And there is a controlled mafia which is controlling everything from filmmaking. There are allegations of nepotism. It needs to shift from Mumbai to Noida Film City for wider mass appeal and also highlight the rich traditional, cultural, monumental and even the industries of India. So if
Yeah.
that happens, that will be a monumental shift, and also our money, our spending will go towards that, and this will support our ecosystem. This is the type of Vedic Artha Shastra, the Vedic economy we have to support. And this can happen. I am quite believing that sooner or later, the Noida Film City will actually rival the Mumbai Bollywood.
Yeah. Also, see, animated films, this also explains the popularity of animated films like Narasimha, and also Kurukshetra, which is now on in the OTT platforms. So what happens is people want to go to original stuff, which is, without any sort of, puffing up. They want the original story as it is, taken in the most modern manner. Okay. And then you have a movie. I was just watching a movie yesterday of it's called Italy, Italy House,
Itli
so in
Kade,
Tamil.
Itli
Yeah,
Kade,
Italy
Dhanush.
Kade. Yeah. So this is another story that inspires people, because see, when you see the way the story is taken, you remove the fights and all that, and you see that the story has so much of substance to it, and this inspires the youth, to try harder. So simple stories can be brought, and they can become so popular. This is something that Bollywood and all the woods, Mollywood and all are failing. They don't have money. They are bankrupt. The reason is why? Because they don't have good content. And for good content, you need to reach out to the people who have changed. Today's generation are receptive to change, and they want good stories and they want good technology, right?
Yes, Binaji, apparently I had happened to watch that movie as well, and really that movie was well made, and I could see how the person had that cultural connect, and he was able to assimilate that culture, adopt it, and follow it in a right manner. It was a really a refreshing movie change. And one more thing, we can relate to this movie. The relatability factor is there. Since I'm coming from Chennai, I could figure it out. The Italy Kadai means I know that it's there in the lingo. So it just was a refreshing change. I really loved watching the movie after a very long time.
Yeah, and this plus Kantara 2, which has become a real box office because the Rishabh Shetty is someone who follows Sanatana Dharma A to Z, and he is not ashamed to wear a dhoti when he goes to parties, and when he's invited by people for shows. He's proud of his culture. So the moment you're proud of your culture, you're wearing your tikka, you're wearing your own clothes, and you're proud of what India is doing, you're proud of what Modi ji as our leader is doing, that is when India grows. Not when we follow, Western culture blindly, isn't it?
It's already reflected in the box office collections of Triple R or Bahubali that people value content over any sort of film stars. And if the Bollywood does not change, I think it will go into oblivion very soon. And people are looking for content now rather than the antics on theatrics or dramatics of any nepo kid.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was a very good discussion, Umesh. Thank you so much for today's session. We'll meet you again next week. Good night, Jai Hind, and Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Siya Ram.